Planet Mars, our one and only red planet, is currently at its biggest and brightest in our night skies. Planet Mars is at its biggest and brightest at the moment, as the red planet is lined up with Earth on the same side of the Sun. Based on astronomical data, every 26 months, the pair takes up this arrangement, moving close together before then diverging again on their separate orbits around our star, the Sun. On Tuesday night, if you were observing the night skies, you would also get to experience what astronomers refer to as opposition. All three bodies, that is, the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, were in a straight line at approximately 23:20 GMT. This phenomenon can be observed closer to 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the evening. There is no need for you to wait until midnight. It can be easily viewed over to the southeast in the night skies. You should not allow this opportunity to miss you. It is the brightest star-like object in this part of the sky during this time of the year. As the opposition was observed on Tuesday night, it was last week that Mars and Earth actually made their closest approach in this 26-month cycle. A separation of 62,069,570 kilometers, or 38,568,243 miles, existed between both Mars and Earth at that time. That is the narrowest gap that has ever existed between these two planets. They will get closer in the year 2035. At the last opposition, which was observed in the year 2018, Earth and Mars were just 58 million kilometers apart. But what made this occasion a little more special and extraordinary for astronomers in the northern hemisphere is that the red planet's elevation in the sky was higher, and that meant that telescopes did not need to peer through so much of the Earth's turbulent atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere tends to distort images. So, therefore, because of the high elevation of the red planet at this time, it is easier for astronomers to get a better look at planet Mars. Astronomers tend to use a technique referred to as lucky imaging to get the perfect shot of stars or planets that are aligned in the sky. They take multiple frames and then use software to stitch it together to get the sharpest view of the planet. Observing recent pictures that were taken of the planet Mars, you will realize that the Martian dichotomy has a sharp contrast between the smooth and lowland plains of the northern hemisphere and the more rugged terrain in the southern hemisphere of the planet. What is also evident based on these pictures is that Mars's carbon dioxide ice cap at the southern pole is quite visible and can be easily observed. Small telescopes will also showcase the major features on the planet Mars as well. And also, a good pair of binoculars can easily be used to identify the major features on the red planet as well. The naked eye, the red planet will appear as a star, but through the use of binoculars and telescopes, you will realize that it is a planet and not a star. It's around the time of opposition that space probes are launched from Earth to Mars. Obviously, the distance that needs to be traveled becomes shorter, and the time and energy required to make the journey becomes less. 3 missions are currently in transit, all of which were sent on their way in July 2020. There was one that was launched by the United Arab Emirates, the Hope Orbiter, along with China's Tianwen Orbiter and rover, along with the USA's Perseverance rover, which will be getting to the Red Planet sometime in February 2021. Europe and Russia had high intentions to dispatch their ExoMars Rosalind Franklin rover as well. However, unfortunately, they missed the launch window and will now have to wait until the latter parts of the year 2022. So therefore, you can now understand how critical this time period of the 26-month cycle in which the red planet lines up with the Earth and the Sun is to astronomers and space venturers. Year 2003, Mars made its closest approach to Earth around opposition in nearly 60,000 years. The separation between the two planets at the time was just 56 million kilometers. The distance between the two planets at opposition time can be over 100 million kilometers, and this was what was observed in the year 2012. The variation in the distance is a consequence of the elliptical shape of the orbits of both planet Mars and planet Earth. The red planet Mars will continue to loom big and bright in the October night skies. Currently, we're experiencing a moonless sky, and this allows dimmer and deep sky objects like the planet Mars to take center stage between the period of October 9th to 16th. Mars has been in preparation for this very moment. Over the past 3 to 4 months, planet Mars has been steadily brightening and is now at its peak in our October night skies. It takes Earth 365 days to orbit once around the Sun. Mars, however, lies farther away from the Sun, which means it takes 687 days to complete its orbit around the Sun. However, it should be noted that every 26 months and an odd number of days, Earth catches up with a slower Mars, which allows us to see it in greater detail and also to observe the Martian surface through binoculars or that of a telescope. October 6th, the separation between Earth and Mars was 60 million kilometers, and Mars appeared big and bright in our night skies. It has been called the red planet. It appears more orange than red, however, and this is the result of a large amount of rust, known as iron oxide, that currently covers most of the Martian landscape. Mars is now rising in the east after sunset and is visible all night long. Jupiter and Saturn are still seen in the western night skies, and Mars sets at midnight. Mercury is also in the west close to the Sun and is harder to locate. Before the night ends, however, the brilliant planet Venus can be seen rising in the east closer to 4 a.m. each morning. Remember to take some time to enjoy the beautiful planets that will be displaying in our night skies as October continues. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.